This is my quick first impression video on the brand new EGO mower that just recently came out, the LM2135SP. So I'm in the DC metro area, and here we are in the middle of winter, actually in the middle of January right now, and we got hit with unusually warm weather, back-to-back 70-degree days. Right now it's in the 40s. It's the day after, but I did get to use this EGO mower, which I recently purchased. As you can see here, this is a Twin Blade model. I do have the Mulching Blade on. This was the original blade that it came with. I'm very interested in how well this thing mulches because I'm coming from a gas mower. What I did have was a lot of leaves and a lot of twigs that I did mulch with this mower. My initial impressions is because most of the grass in my yard is a bit wet, it didn't mulch everything. I have a lot of leaves in my yard. That's because, you know, those were mainly wet leaves, but anything that was dry on the surface, any twigs that was in my yard, this thing did mulch. Initially, when you do get this, to get this blade on, it is really stuck on there. It looks like it's very tightly put on. So you first need to take off this bolt here. There's a little hole here. You put a screwdriver and you take that off. I actually ended up using an impact gun to remove it, and then I put it in the vise, and you have to remove these two bolts. And I have this mulching blade. I did read with the mulching blade that it does impact battery use. I did use this mower in mulching blade mode to pretty much just mulch everything in my yard, and it went down below 50%. I don't have that big of a yard. I live in the suburbs in DC. In total, I have a 9,000 square foot lot. So it's not a big, huge lot. In fact, my front yard is much bigger than my backyard. As you can tell from the deck, it's a little dirty because I did use it. I like to keep my deck clean. I'm so used to the ritual of gas that every time I would finish mowing my lawn, I had a washout port that would run it and then clean the deck with a pressure washer. Because it's electric, you're not allowed to actually spray this, so I had to just get a damp cloth with a little bit of soap and just wipe it down. One thing I do not like initially is these little divots here. I mean, dirt, and I'm pretty sure grass clippings are going to accumulate in here, and it's really difficult to clean. You have to get in there with your finger and a wet rag to clean that out. So that's one thing I don't like too much about this, but it does mulch very well, and it's made out of plastic. It's the main reason why I got this. I'm coming from a Husqvarna all-wheel drive mower, and I had a lot of issues with that rusting in the deck and the transmission going out all the time. So I wanted to try electric, and specifically I wanted a plastic deck. I did not want to do any metal anymore with the amount of rust issues I was having. It is in mulch mode, as you can tell right here. That's the little adapter, and I'll show you that in a sec. So I'm not going to go into all the features. There's several YouTube videos already on all the different features that this has, and that talks about how it works. I just want to give my initial impressions on it. But one thing I did notice about the mulch mode, and this is the plug, by the way, that goes inside here, that's removable, is with the plug and the door closed in mulch mode, there was several clippings and dust that was just still spewing out of here. So that's one thing I didn't like too much about it, but again, that's being nitpicky, because it is a good mower and I do like it. But this is a 7.5 milliamp. I like how it has a little gauge that tells you how much electricity you have, and it's facing you. That's pretty cool. In terms of looks, it looks like a F117. So in summary, there's a lot to like about this mower. So this is me nitpicking, but the few things that I do not like about it is, as I mentioned before, the bottom of the deck looks like these little cavities will accumulate dirt and grass clippings and making it a little difficult to clean. Grass clippings and dust appear to come out from behind the door, and that's something I never experienced with my gas mulcher. The other thing, and I guess is the biggest issue I have, is the self-propelled. This self-propelled is actually very quick. However, it does not start off initially right away. Switching from gas over to this, I can say that I never realized it till now on how I mow is a little different. So I've come to rely on my gas mower, specifically when I'm like right up against a fence line or tight little corners. When I'm turning the gas mower around, I sometimes will shift my body weight, almost losing my balance, and then I will rely on a self-propelled feature of the gas mower, because it's very torquey and powerful, to kind of yank me back into place, kind of giving me rebalance. This is something that this mower can't do. When you engage the self-propel, it does have a delay, and it doesn't sound like much, and I didn't think much of it when I first heard of it, but in practicality, somebody who's going from a gas to a electric, just keep that in mind. There is a slight delay in the self-propel feature. So those are the three things that, if I had to nitpick issues that I see with this mower, those are the only three things that I notice. Other than that, I love this mower. It's very light. Going from a gas over to electric, it's just a bit of a change. Initially, I did not feel that this had enough power because I'm so used to the gas mower, feeling the vibration to your core and the noise. You just know that a gas mower has power and that it's going to go through anything. And then when I first turned this electric mower on, it was so smooth, so quiet. I didn't think this thing was going to mow good at all. And then, needless to say, when I did mow, it mulched everything up pretty nicely. And I do like the fact that I'm able to store it in my shed. I now have a lot more space. I used to have to dedicate more space to my gas mower. But overall, right now, it's very early. It's winter. There's not much grass to mow. I can't wait till spring when I actually get to put this through its paces and see if I like it or not. If I don't, at the end of the day, I still have my gas mower. I have not given it up just quite yet. But I am impressed with this, with the power, with the speed, with the quality of how this thing is built. And I look forward to using this real soon.